just a couple of moments ago, I said that Strictly has signed up somebody who has only just been announced and actually is going to be the hot favourite, probably the one to put your money on, although the odds may not be good. And who is she? Well, Stephanie's here to tell us.
It's only Angela Rippon, and it's so exciting because her name's been floating around for the past few weeks that she would be joining Strictly, and she's making history, ballroom history for the show because she's going to be the oldest contestant. In October, Angela turns 79. She said yesterday, when she was approached by BBC bosses, she said, "Why didn't you approach me 10 years ago?" She is no stranger to the show because obviously she's hosted Come Dancing before. It was only, well, not only, 47 years ago. On the Christmas special of Morecambe and Wise, she came up and she'd done that high-kicking dancing routine. So Angela is very ambitious. I'm placing my bets on her. What happens...
She's not just... She's professional. She wouldn't do it unless she was confident she would be brilliant.
She's ambitious. And the thing is, Anne and Martin, is that people always say when they get the older contestants on Strictly, they tend to be like the comedy acts.
Yes.
People think they can, you know, to make fun of them or they're out in the first week. But I think Angela, she's been such an advocate for people trying to stay young through dancing, through keeping their brain fit. So I don't think she's just doing it for herself, but I think she's doing it for the older population in general to show that actually you can be taken seriously once you get on the dance floor.
Yeah, I think that's a really key point because the audience tends to be more mature that watches it. She's still got it.
She has.
Physically, she's absolutely... She looks fantastic, still really together. I remember that Morecambe and Wise is one of the earliest things that kind of make me think, anyway, I digress.
But do you know, there will be a generation of people who are fans of Strictly who won't actually know Angela's backstory that well. Because she wasn't actually the first female newsreader on British television, but she was the main first. There were others there were other women who read the news before her, but only once or twice. She was the first big-name character, female newsreader, and she was very BBC, and of course, you know, it was even more important then than now. The BBC news has to be read by somebody very authoritative, and she was. And then she pulled a blinder by going on Morecambe and Wise, and they introduced her. I don't know if you remember the sketch. They introduced her by saying, you know, here's the news, and she was sitting at a news desk, and she sort of said, here is the news, and then the news desk split into two, and she walked out there with these amazing legs,
what a moment.
And she just went into a dance number.
It was quite an arrival. And I think this is another great arrival. I think you're dead right. So I think you've nailed it. You know, the audience will look to her as a standard bearer for people of a certain age.
I tell you what, she sets the bar a bit too high.
She does.
I mean, are we all at 79 expected to look that good and dance? I mean, for heaven's sake.
And, you know, she's hoping that she can suss and she can learn the Argentine tango. That's the dance she says she's really excited about doing. She says she can only kick up to her waist now, but I'm sure when she does Strictly, she'll get a bit more flexibility because they are put through their paces through Strictly. It starts in September. If she goes through the full hog, it'll be a 3-month show. So you go through quite a dramatic transformation when you're on Strictly. It's really testing, it's really pushing, but it's all about the votes. And I think because she's a well-loved character, hopefully she'll go further than what usually the older contestants do, which is around week 3, week 4.
And, you know, Anne Widdecombe's a dear friend of mine as well, but she moved with the grace of a sack of spuds. Has to be said. So I do think that Angela is a fantastic signing for this show.
I wonder who they'll pair her with. I mean, I don't, as you know, I don't watch Strictly that much, but obviously there's an array of professional dancers. But they need to give her somebody who can absolutely show her off.
Well, I think that's the good thing about Anton de Beck now being a judge, because they always used to pair him with the older contestants, and he's lovely, but he hasn't got that thing on the dance floor anymore. So I think with the other younger male dancers, they'll be able to help her and really let her shine. But there's 2 other names that have been announced. Amanda Abington, who starred in Sherlock, she says she's interested in doing the show because she's very self-conscious. She said she's very shy, so that's a good thing about dancing. It helps you express yourself. A bit of controversy, they've signed Leighton Williams, who's a theatre star. He's been dancing since the age of 6. So can you already know there's going to be a Strictly storm about him because people are going to be asking... He can already dance. The thing about Strictly is you want to go there as a novice and you want to learn how to dance.
But I think the audience factor that in, though, don't they, when they vote? I think there's a great leveller. They go, OK, this guy's a pro. And I think there's a fairness to the voting, which they find that equilibrium, I think, it works.
And I think what the Strictly boxes do, the Strictly bosses do, they tick the boxes. So you will get that TikTok influencer. Leighton Williams, he's gay, so more than likely we might get another male partnership on the dance floor again. So what the bosses are doing, they're ticking the boxes to know that different audience members will find someone that they can connect with and appeal to.